Okay, let's begin. Beautiful day to everyone. Let's move on. Planning and Control Management, Part 4, Program Progress, Monitoring, Updating, and Controlling. So we are now on Part 4, and this is about Program Progress Monitoring, Updating, and Controlling. So we will try to look back to our previous episode, which was Part 3, Session 9. And we discussed regarding the report layouts about the resource usage profile on how to create. This is also called the resource usage distribution graphical presentation. Now we will be starting now for our part 4, session 1. This is our current episode, and this is about the introduction for the program progress monitoring, updating, and controlling. And the second is program reviews and preparation. So we have to prepare our program to be used in the progress update. Now, here are the things that we need to do. First, we have to create a copy for program first update. Next is to revisit and review project setups and details. And here are there. First is the user and admin preferences. We have to try to take a look at it first and review something for changes or any thing that we need to set up. Okay, and then next is the schedule options. We have to review that also. Next is the project details. Next is the work breakdown structure, WBS details. Of course, I think we have to set up the earned value setup for this project. And next is activity percent complete type. We have to review it. And the activity duration type. And here, the earned value management system, we have to elaborate a few things about these items because this is very important in the progress update reports. And this is a very commonly used reports in project planning. Okay. So, okay, let's congratulate ourselves for completing the part 3 of our exercise. And now let's proceed to the first topic of our part 4 exercise. Okay, this is about the there we go, program progress monitoring, updating, and controlling. And we have here the introduction. Program monitoring and update are part of project control processes, which involves a routine or regular periodic progress monitoring, assessment, performance analysis, and cost of project execution, including anticipation and control of delay risk occurrences within the course of project life cycle. And here in every project, delay and disruption are inevitable, caused either by one party, by the other, by both, or by external influences, whereby the significance of contemporary delay events log, along with the integration of window schedule delay analysis technique, has of utmost importance to be able to identify, quantify, assess, notify, and document instantaneously any delay that may occur along the course of project execution until completion. And here are our assumptions. Assuming the project detailed baseline program has been approved by the client or owner for project execution, or that means ready for project execution or to be used for project execution. And here the contract program requirements or as per official agreement requires a regular submission of program reports in a monthly interval. Mostly sometimes during the the take off, or I mean the kick off meeting before the or after the notice to proceed, or I mean after the notice of award, I think, or after the notice of to proceed, there should always be a kick-off meeting that the project should be discussed for everything, and that includes the program requirements, or let's say the agreement on the interval of the submission of the progress of the project. So it is usually discussed or agreed on the kick-off meeting. Okay. So I think we're done here. So let's open our Primavera P6 and start our work. Anything I can say something about this introduction? Okay, I think we can discuss something on it if there is some lacking on these introductions or assumptions. We will go over with it while we go forward. Okay. Next is we are now. Okay, we are now in our Primavera. So first we will go to the we will we will open our project first, okay? The last project that we have, so we will open our project window and we will look for our previous project that we work on. Oh, this is the one, right? The DBL. So we have already completed everything in here for the detailed baseline schedule. So the first thing that we need for our program progress update 01 is to create a copy from this program. Okay. So what you need to do, actually you can use the import feature of Primavera P6, but I think it will take time because the result will be the same as the copy and paste. So here is the procedure on how to import this project into the same Primavera or to other applications. Here we go. File. Here you can see here the import and the export. If you want projects from outside, you can use the import. And if you want to share your Primavera file to others or to in a different format or applications, you can use the export, right? So if you use the export, just click it. If you want the copy of this file into Primavera, use the export and then select Primavera or any applications available here. You can use the Microsoft Project, Spreadsheet, Excel, or Primavera P6 XML, Primavera Contractor. You can do everything. You can export it and create a copy. Okay, let's cancel it. I'm just demonstrating it to you. So, okay, if you want the import, the same thing. Click this import, and then, so you can select any format here or applications you want to import from outside, going to you or to your file, and then just go forward to this next and fill up whatever it is required. Okay. Let's cancel this one. Okay. So if we will use the import or export, I think it's better if you use, what you have to do is just highlight it, Control C, and then Control B. And then let's say here is the baseline. So later on, you will realize what is this for. But for now, since our project has no baseline, so whether you check it or not, there's none baseline will be carried on this project to be copied. Okay, so let's proceed. Okay, just check everything, check every checkbox here so that everything on that project will be copied or carried into the destination program. Okay, so if you want to, you don't want this to appear, just click it again, or click the checkbox. Anyway, let's go. Go. Okay, so here we go. So we have already here the copy of the detailed baseline program. So what you will need to this detailed baseline program, we have to submit this to client once approved. So it will be a part of the contract documents. So you need to have a copy also for that one, because later on, there might be requirements of the original program for mostly that happens during the, there is an argument on the schedule. So you have the original copy, and also try to keep a copy also of the hard copy of the program. Okay, so we will rename this into what? We will rename this into, let's say, PU, our first update, let's say 22 July, which is 06, and at the end of July 30. Okay, so let's rename this into PDLM site development. We will not use this detailed baseline program anymore, but let's say program update. Okay, site development, program update. What? Let's say number 01, and we can say we can put also the date. Just enclose it by let's say 30 June 22. So to be more specific, and it will be more, you can identify it quickly whenever you are looking for it. Okay, so this will be our format for our detailed program. Okay, I mean the program updates. So we will open this one. Okay, open. Okay, so this is now our new schedule or program for the progress update. So first we have, what shall we do? We have to review the user and admin preferences. So we will go to user, which is edit, user preferences. Then here we will go it one by one quickly. So unit of hour, what can we see here that we need to change? I think there is none. Okay, that's fine. Dates. I think on the dates, I think I will have nothing to change. A currency. If we want it, let's say we will change it into let's say Philippine peso. Okay. And then show decimals. Okay, that's right. That's fine. Next, currency email. Okay, leave it as is. Assistance. No problem. Application. Oh, that's fine. Select financial period to view in columns. Here. So we can select here from June 1. After we finish, let's say, for example, if we actually the financial periods will not be shown unless we updated our schedule. So once we updated it, then we can show it into our window or activity window, the performance, or columns for the performance, for the everything regarding the earned value and the cost. Okay, so first we can show here June 1 up to June, let's say we'll show here June 30. Now we can show here up to say June here. Was it? I think that was until April. But anyway, we will get back to that, and then we will add for the columns. We will get back to this one and change it to the right one, because I think there is a few days. The completion of our project is a few days on. There is a few days on the month of April of April 2023, because the NTP is moved, or I mean the start of the project moved 5 days from NTP. Okay, so let's leave it as is. We will change first this. We will add another month for the April here, 2023, and then we will get back to this and change this one. Okay. Okay. Next. Application password, no problem. Resource analysis. Interval for time distributed is fine. Okay, that's fine. Calculations. Always use resource price unit. Okay, that's fine. Startup filter, no problem with that. Okay, let's close this one. Wait. Let's get back to this one. Resources, roles, activity codes. Okay, that's fine. Okay, we will go to the admin. Security profiles, never mind that first, because this is not really. Okay, we'll go to admin preferences. General, Monday, okay, that's fine. Okay, here, it's okay, that's fine. Length, that's fine. Time periods, we have already set up this one before. The earned value here. Actually, after these reviews, we will be elaborating regarding the earned value. But here we need to have a selection. Okay. With the selection of the technique on how to calculate the estimate to complete. Later on, you will know what is estimate to complete, what is that for. And here, the first method here, or technique here, is the ETC will be equals to the remaining cost for activity. So that means this is the property of the cost, not the earned value. Remember that in Primavera P6, the earned value management system is a different section compared to the cost management. Okay, so here the earned value, we will select the ETC is equals to the remaining cost for activity, meaning we are using the our estimated or projected remaining cost of our project every time of the during the time of the progress update to be the estimated the estimate to complete cost of the earned value. Okay, so there is one technique on how to calculate the ETC, and the other one here is here. We will make it a little bit clearer after we finish the review, okay? Because this one, if I will explain this to you, actually the figure of what I will be explaining to you is the same as this, but it is more understandable compared to what shall I be explaining to you, okay? So here, earned value calculation. So for now, we have three choices here. So later on, I will explain to you what is at completion values, what is current dates, what is budgeted values, and what is budgeted values with planned dates. So for now, we will be using the budgeted values with planned dates, and we will explain it a little bit clearer later. Okay, so let's go to, we are already fine here, so we choose this one. I will tell you later why I choose this one. That is for the simplicity. But during your actual work, you can discuss with the team whether to use this formula below. It depends on the agreement of the team whether to use it or not. But for now, in our project, to be more simple, we will be using this one. Okay. Reports, no problem to that. Options. By calendar, yes, correct. Okay, no problem. That's fine. Rate types, a standard rate, okay, that's right. And industry, no problem. So close. So we're done on user and admin preferences. We will go to schedule options. So schedule options can be shown here on the short icon of the project scheduling execution. Here, click it there and then option. So we will go to the general items. This one is okay. Make open-ended activities critical. It is not logical. Use expected finish. Okay. That's fine. Schedule automatically when it change affects dates. Actually, when updating a schedule for me, I don't use this schedule automatically because once you change the percentage of the schedule, once the schedule dates change, it just automatically calculates, and you'll sometimes I've got confused of where the activity goes. Okay, that is why I usually I'm not using this one. I can run the schedule anytime I want. Okay. Recalculate assigned cost, never mind it. You can do it manually whenever the time that you need it. Okay. Retain logic, leave it as is. Calculate start to log, early start. Okay, that's fine. And here the total float, define critical activities as total float less than or equal to 0. So actually the most commonly used in here is the 0. How about the longest path? Okay, you can use the longest path, but the problem here that if it is not only the longest path has a critical item. You know, there are most cases that during the updates, longest path when the project is delayed, longest path is always delayed, of course, right? But there are some other paths which is not really the longest within the project, but it is already in critical situation because the their paths or the network of activities of that shorter path is already exceeding the contractual completion. So that means they are considered as also as critical. So that is why when we check this longest path, once we run it or run our schedule, only the longest path will be shown. But those other paths which is also critical will not be shown or cannot be shown. Okay, so that means there are some cases or significant when to use the longest path options or the total float less than or equal to 0. So to be sure that you are looking or you have the right screen on your front regarding the critical items, so it is better to use this one. But if you want only to show, you can create also another layout showing that only the longest path to be shown. So that means even though there is a several number of critical paths in your project, you can show only the longest path. And also, you can have also a layout for all the critical paths on your project. So, okay, so let's choose this one first. And it will be on your choice whether later you want to show only the longest path. So it's up to you, okay? So, but this one, it will show everything critical on your project. But in here, only the longest path can be shown, okay? So calculate float, okay, that's fine. Finish float, calendar, okay. So we'll go to advanced. Okay, calculate multiple float paths. Of course, we are using the total float display. So actually, we have 2 milestones in our project, right? So if you want to show the multiple plots on one milestone, you can select it here. So let's say our milestone here is the first is the project handover and the site handover. So if you want to show the the plot path within the project handover, you can select this one. Okay, the project handover. So that means your project or your program will show only those paths within the project handover milestone. So that means the path within the site handover will not be shown. Okay. And if you choose the site handover, so only those paths within the interim milestone will be shown on your schedule. Or will be calculated, I mean. So if you choose this one, so that means the project handover pass will not be considered. Okay. So let's leave it as is. Okay. And this one, specify the number of paths to calculate. Actually, the actual there is 3. So whether you change it or not, the Primavera will show you or will report to you the correct one. Okay, let's close it. Okay, let's make it 3. Okay, let's close it. And then how about the schedule log? So let's view the schedule log. Okay. So the purpose of looking, showing for the schedule log. Okay, let's go to the schedule log. Okay. The purpose of this is just to show some errors. If there is some errors, at least we can correct our schedule or program on time, or correctly before using it. Okay, calculate multiple plus. There is no issue to this, 27. So now we have 27 activities. Now we have only 2 constraint items here. And if you look at our, the site handover and the project handover. So site handover, which is the our interim milestone. So let's go to activities without project predecessor. So we have 3 open-ended activities here, 1, 2, and 3. So that means the open-ended activities is open-ended predecessor is the contract award that is acceptable, and the open-ended successor is handover, acceptable, project handover, acceptable, site handover, acceptable. Okay, this is okay. This should be 0 always. And about finished milestone and have different calendars, site handovers. Okay, we will be checking this one also again. I think we will check this. What calendar is it there? So okay, next this one. Okay. I think critical activities, I have already explained this to you. Whatever is the red color shown on your project, this will be shown here. Okay, and activities here is the issue here. Activities that are not on any plot path. So project management, of course, it should not be on the plot path because it is an activity with a level of effort. That means it is only a support activities, which is not really significant um, into the network of activities because it is a one-time activity, or I mean a one activity for the whole period of the project. Okay, we are done here. So let's go to, let's get back to our, let's get back to our Primavera P6. And then what else? Okay, let's try to check our calendar. Actually, it is not shown in our, what do you call this? What happened? There's a problem. Why I cannot? Okay. Let's close this first. And then let's open our, I've already opened, okay, view. Okay, let's close it. And then close. That's the reason why. Okay, we will check our calendar. So we will show our column here for the calendar. Calendar, I think it is under the general. Here. Let's check the calendar of the milestone. Actually, our milestone, we didn't check the calendar really. So we'll be using the, okay, that's fine. So the calendar is correct. Okay, how about next is we will check the schedule option is done, project details. So we will go to project. Let's close this calendar first. Go to column and then open it and then highlight, then put it back. Okay, so we will, next is the project details. So we will go to project, highlight our project. This one. So what is, what can we see here? So here, actually some other items here is not really needed. Notebook, budget, spending plan, budgeted will be taking up this later. How about the dates? So this is okay also. Funding, codes, regarding the project coding, where I will be taking up this also. Maybe a few session after this. So default. So there's no problem with default. Actually, it depends on your choice on the actual. Okay, so we will go to resource. Remember, this is only a default items. That means you can change it in the actual in assigning into the activities. There you can choose the right or the best one that you choose. Okay. Okay, we'll go to resource. Okay, standard drive activity dates by default. No. Resource can be assigned to the same activity. This means you let's say you have a resource of let's say project engineer. If you check this one, that means you can assign project engineer several times. But for me, it is not it's not good for me. So I don't check this box. Okay, I will go to settings. Actually, in here, there are some cases also that you can use this one, but for I mean for temporary purposes only. Okay, so we'll go to setting. Here, the baseline, project baseline. and the user baseline. I think I explained this to you already. When you go to baseline, let's say for the project baseline here, and the user baseline here, I have already told to you how to prepare or to do the project baselining. First, you have to operations here, maintain baselines and assigning baselines. So when you maintain baselines, you have to click this one, and then you have to look for a program that you want to be a baseline for your current program. So you can add here, so and so, right? Okay. So when you go, we will go to assigning baseline. So since you have already selected a baseline in your maintain baseline, so here you can choose you have two choices here, project baseline and the user baseline. So you can see here the user baseline and the project baselines. But under the user baseline, you can have 3 user baselines here to use for your baseline of your current project. So just be sure that whenever you check this one, that means you are working on the user's primary baseline. That means all the outputs on your program that you are working on will base on user's primary baseline. If you check this one, if you choose this one, and you don't choose this, so that means even though you have assigned here the project baseline, you have assigned the baseline here for this project, but if you use this one, so this project here will not be used. It will use the project here. Okay, so you can choose a primary baseline, something like that. Okay, if you choose, like for example, if you assign some project here, actually there is no project because we didn't put the projects in the maintain baseline. Okay, okay, let's move. So you can choose the longest path. So I think you already know here in the define critical activities. I already explained this to you, how it works. So let's move. Next is the work breakdown structure, WBS details. I think, okay. Let's go to WBS window. Here is the WBS window. Okay. Okay, sometimes, you know, some scheduler and planner forget to address this earned value detail here in the WBS, because mostly they just go here into the admin and then preference, and here earned value. They think that once they have already addressed or filled up everything in here, they think that everything is fine. But no, you have also to fill up also or set up this earned value here in the WBS. Okay. So activity percent complete. Okay, we will be using it. And then here, that's fine. So will be okay. Here, as I said, we will be using the remaining cost for activities. Okay. Later on, you will understand what is this. Next, okay, I've already explained this to you. Okay, right? So here in the PF here, never. We will explain it later. I have it already on our slide. So next, what else? Project detail, work breakdown structure, percent complete. Okay, let's check the percent. Actually, we have to choose the percent complete types that we have to use for our project, because we will be updating our project now. So let's percent complete type. So let's say we will just select type, activity type. Okay, we will show the activity type because we will be using activity type, duration type. Next, yes, this percent complete type, we will show it. Anything else? No problem for that. Okay, okay, apply. So we'll be working on the 3 columns, activity type, project milestone, task dependent. I think this is fine. How about duration type? Okay, duration type. I think milestone, there's no problem with this one. Okay, duration type, general. The duration type here, I think we cannot edit it here. Why? So that means in the duration type, you have to go to general and then, I know, here it is. Okay, only the milestone it won't work. Okay, okay, never mind it. Okay, duration type, units per time. I think this is fine. So we will go to percent complete type. So for now, we will be using the duration type. Okay, let me explain first. There are three types of percent complete types that we will be, using or selection to choose this type of percent complete type. So first is duration type. Actually, duration type. This is the one that when you input the percent complete on your project, let's say for example your activity is 90% complete, Primavera P6 will automatically calculate the remaining duration of your project. So which is I think for me is a reasonable, because once you set up the duration and the units per time and the number of units, so once you calculate the progress or physical progress of your project, so Primavera will take care of the calculation of the remaining activities. But there are some cases that you have to put the physical percent complete of the project, of the activity, but there are some cases that you don't need to calculate it automatically, because you want to set the remaining duration for the activity. So you have to use the physical, okay? So that when you use physical, once you input the percent complete of the activity, you can set the remaining duration of the activity manually. While in the duration percent complete type, once you set your percent complete or progress on your activity, it will automatically calculate the remaining duration. Okay. Now, when we will be using the units, it is also possible. That means the calculation of the activities percent complete will be based on the units that you will input. Okay. So I will show it to you later. But for now, just try to and just giving you the idea what are these three types of percent complete. Okay, let's move. So everything here is on duration. So leave it first, and then we can manually change it whenever we want during the schedule or program update. When it is needed to be changed, then we shall do it. If not, then leave it Primavera to calculate it by itself. Okay. So we are done on the activity percent complete type, activity duration type. What else do we miss here? I think everything is already set up, right? So maybe there are some items that we missed, then we will address it case-to-case basis when we encounter it. Okay, so we're done. So we shall remove this column because it is not already needed. We can show it later once we really need it. Okay, apply. Next, the earned value management system. So, okay, let's discuss some insights about the earned value. Okay. Earned value. Okay, this is the last page. So, okay. Let's elaborate earned value in Primavera P6 as here the earned value management system. Okay. Okay, acronyms and formulas. So I made it myself to be more clearer for my beloved viewers. Because if you look at the Primavera, it's more understandable if you really you are already familiar with it. But if not, there is some confusion. But here I will explain it briefly. Okay, here we have the terms or the acronyms here for the BAC, which is the budget at completion. So let me speak something which is not at least you hear it, that even though you don't understand yet, because later we will be you will realize this item. So BAC or budget at completion is the property of the baseline schedule. Okay. Remember, we have during the schedule updates, we have what we call the current program and the baseline program. So that is where the earned value management system works. Okay. Okay, the planned value. Okay, this is PB as planned value. Actually, there are two terms that are being used during my experience. In my experience in planning, I encountered these two terms. Actually they have of the same meaning. Let's say, for example, planned value. So I mean, there are two terms that are being used here in the earned value management system. Though, so it's up to you where you have to use it. But actually, whichever you choose, actually they are the same as long as you understand both. Okay, the planned value is PB is planned value, but actually it is also called as a BCWS, which means budgeted cost of work scheduled. Here it is. So budgeted cost of work scheduled, BCWS is budgeted cost of work scheduled. So that is also equals to the same as planned value. Okay. And next is we have here the earned value. So in other words, in other terms, we call it BCWP, which is we call it budgeted cost of work performed. I really I've been working on this for how many years? I think more or less 18 years. So even though I am sleeping, I know these terms. I'm very, very familiar and familiar to these terms of earned value management system. Okay. Even though I am sleeping and wake me up and ask me about this one, you will not fail. Okay. Next is the BCWP. That's what I've said is a budgeted cost of work performed. Actually, this one, on my own understanding, this is a performance, either in money, performance either in quantity or whatever. This is the one you perform, and okay, so it is also called earned value, or I mean, it is the same meaning as earned value. That is the one that you earned on your effort on doing the activities or project. Okay, next, the actual cost. So this one, there is no problem with this one because this is a self-explanatory, because when you say actual cost, of course, that is the one you spent for a certain job. Okay, so the other words or other terms for that EC is ACWP. That meaning it is an actual cost of work performed. So meaning the actual cost of the work that you have performed, right? So, but here here in these terms, this terminology, the acronym is just simple. AC, actual cost. Okay. Next is that is why ECWP is the actual cost of work performed, but they are the same as the actual cost. I just forgot what group organization are using the PB, EB, AC. I forgot it. And the other groups organization are using the who BCW, BCWS, WS, ACWP, and we have BCWP. Okay, so ETC is the estimate to complete. Okay, estimate to complete, refer the techniques will be shown here at the right pane later. That's why I put the arrow here, so that you will be expecting that there is something here at the right side of our window. So estimate to complete, this is one of the important subject on the earned value management system on how the estimate at completion will be derived. So, okay, let's go. This is what I've said. The estimate at completion is the actual cost or what you have spent plus the estimate to complete, meaning your projection of the cost going forward on doing your project. So you have the projection, how much would you be spending more. So the sum of it, the actual the actual cost that you incurred plus that estimate at completion, estimate to complete will come up to the estimate at completion. That is, I mean, that is the overall project outcome or cost of your project. So I will explain to you later. There are there are some confusions of the, I mean, the cost, project cost here in Primavera, because there are three costs here that we have to compare. We have the budgeted total cost, the budgeted at completion, and the estimate at completion. Now, if you are not really familiar with the terminologies of the Primavera and the earned value management system, you will get confused of these three terms. That is why I am explaining it to you here briefly, so that you will really understand what is earned value management system and how Primavera execute it and how its formula are being understood. Okay. So estimate completion. Next is the schedule variance. Okay. This schedule variance, that is here, the formula is the earned value less the planned value. Of course, when you prepare a project, you have always a planned value, right? So you have to introduce your project. You have to introduce your plan on that project. So you have already set up what are those planned cost, planned performance, or anything else. So that means during the execution of the project, so of course you have to compare your performance against your plan, right? So that you will determine whether you are performing well, how your performance going well on that project. So that is the purpose of schedule variance. That means your performance will be compared into your plan. So whenever your plan is negative, it comes out to be negative. So you are not performing based on your planned quantities or planned program. Okay. So we will go to the cost variance. Okay. This cost variance, always remember that earned value is the same thing as performance. You know? This is the one that you earned on your effort, you earned on what you have done for the project or for the activity. This should be the one that, okay, and then the actual cost, of course, that is your expenditures. So that means here you have to compare your performance against your spending. Okay. You have to okay, you have to compare your performance against your spending. That means here you will determine whether you are working with a too much cost. So that means it is a good when your project goes well. So your performance or earned value should be greater or bigger than your cost. But if your cost, if you are spending more than you really earned, so you are losing money. You are losing, yes, you are losing money, right? Okay. So that's the purpose. Okay, let's go forward. So ACB, that is the at completion variance. So that means actually you have your project, you set up your project, you have the planned cost, and now when you execute your work, and then it comes out that you are not performing well, and your estimate is I mean your completion is getting extended. So of course you have to extend your resources, and of course you have to extend your cost, and it is an additional cost, right? So that means your performance will depend your at completion variance. If you are performing well, of course, your at completion variance will be less or be greater than zero. But if you're not performing well, you can see here that you are spending well, spending much than your performance, and your completion date is extending. Of course, you have the positive anticipation for that. If you are spending too much and your project is extending, so of course additional costs, additional expenses, right? So that means at least here, if you can see that your at completion variance is getting is negative, so you have to plan for the control measures. Let's say, for example, you have to add more people if the area is not, if the what I mean is the area is really workable for more people, and you have to work with it, collaborate with it, coordinate with it, communicate with it with the project team. Okay, so that is the purpose of the earned value management system. You will be given the information ahead if there is something wrong on your project, or if your project is getting profit. Or okay, we have here the SPI. So this is only a sort of schedule performance index. So that means we are just here, we're just calculating the proportion or the ratio of the performance against the, actually this PC is not correct. It should be a planned value. We are not a perfect man. Actually, human being is not really a perfect one. We are prone to mistakes. Okay, so this should be changed to PV, this one. Okay, or say BCWS. So if you change it into BCWS, so you have to use the earned value as BCWP, because earned value is equals to, what I mean is that if you are using the different term, I mean the different the other terminologies, let's say BCWS, let's say this one, earned value, you can use BCW divided by what? PB BCWS, okay? Okay, we're taking time for explaining here. So CPI, so the same CPI, okay. CPI is about the cost performance index. So this is the ratio of your performance compare to your expenditure. Okay. And we have here the performance factor. So this will be used on the calculation of the estimate to complete. Okay, let's go here. Techniques to calculate estimate to complete. Okay, here is the first one. ETC equals to RC. RC meaning the remaining cost. Remember that this RC is the property of the cost of the project, and this ETC is the earned value terminologies. Okay, so that means here we will be using the remaining cost. We are considering here the current projected remaining cost to complete as the estimated cost to complete. So meaning we will be using the current projected remaining cost. Okay, this is the first method of or technique on calculating the ETC. Okay, and the second technique has several choices. Okay, here the ETC is equals to the performance factor multiplied by the difference of the budget at completion and the earned value. Okay. So let's now go next. So here is the first choices. ETC is equals to this can be used this one. It assumes that future or remaining cost to complete will proceed as planned. Okay, so here the formula here is ETC is equals to budget at completion less the earned value if performance factor is equals to 1. So of course, if this performance factor is equals to 1, so the ETC will be this one, BEC less the EB. Okay, very simple. Okay. Next choices is if you choose this formula, you are assuming that future or remaining cost to complete is being controlled by the current cost performance. Okay. So in this formula, this is our source formula or the general formula. But if the performance factor is equals to 1 divided by the CPI, so this will be the outcome formula. Okay, PAC less AB divided by divided by the CPI. Okay, next ETC. This formula, we are assuming that future or remaining cost to complete is being controlled by the current cost and schedule performance. Okay, so this formula is derived referring to this general formula, which is PF multiplied by PAC. This one is derived if the PF is equal to 1 divided by the product of the CPI and the SPI. So it will comes up to this formula. Okay, next. D, ETC is equals to PAC, this one. If PF is equals to 0.88, actually it is your choice whether how much is your what you call this, how much you have to put in here. Okay, but actually the formula here is missing PF. Actually we should have to put PF here, so just do it yourself. It is just a simple thing to do by yourself. because we have to use, let's say, if we use a number less than 1 for the performance factor, so we have to use, we have to put the variable here. So I'm sorry for that. I missed to put the variable here, which is PF multiplied by, because here our general formula is PF, so that is why it should have a PF. Here on the upper formulas here, there is no PF here, because you know why? It is because one is being one is the constant being used here. Let's say, for example, here PF is equals to 1, so there's no need to you put 1 here for the PF. There's no need to put PF here because it is understood as 1. So 1 has no effect when multiplying to the other numbers. Okay, the same as in here. So 1 divided by the CPI, so 1 has no effect. Okay, sorry. The same thing as in here. So just take your time to change this formula. ATC is equals to PF multiplied by this one. Here in C, since 1 is not really, has no effect, because 1 is has no effect when you multiplied it to any numbers. But if you use the 88, it has the effect, right? Okay, so this one in letter D choices, we are assuming here that future or remaining cost to complete is being controlled by the current cost and schedule performance. Okay, so I think we are finished. I think it's time to break. We take time too much on talking here, but it's worth a big help for us. So our next episode will be just be just an advice. Try to be familiar with this formula, because Primavera P6 mostly or is using this formula in calculating the iron value items. Okay. Remember also that we use the remaining cost. If you want to use these items, yes, of course you can do it. But for simplicity, for me, it is simple to use the RC, because this one is the calculation made by the earned value management system. They have a lot of assumptions here, but actually, of course, all calculations is not really perfect calculations, but more or less, you are near to accuracy, or you're almost accuracy. Okay. So I will show to you later how this remaining cost is being derived to be used by the earned value management system. Okay. Okay, our next episode will be part 4, session 2, program progress monitoring, updating, and controlling. So we will be working on program progress update number 01, which is our first program update. And I want you to see on this episode, and thank you, and kindly like, subscribe, and share to help others. Okay. Okay, so it's end of our session. God bless to all, and goodbye.